Tonight on Redline PD, a vehicle accident ends in 2 fatalities. A police bust ends in 2 arrests. Another high-speed pursuit ends in a vehicle going for a swim. And another high-speed pursuit ends with a vehicle getting airborne. Some of the scenes contained within the following footage may be graphic. Viewer discretion is advised. Los Santos County, late afternoon, 7 PM. The Special Motor Vehicle Unit gets a call asking for additional units to respond to a high-speed pursuit which is currently involved on US Route 13. The vehicle is swerving dangerously from side to side, narrowly missing civilian vehicles, putting multiple lives at risk. With speeds climbing at over 200 miles an hour, the SMV units must stop the pursuit before it gets too far out of hand. And then, suddenly, the worst fears are realized. The Skyline collides with a civilian vehicle, managing to make off with no damage. The suspect vehicle then takes a right-hand turn into the back streets, hoping to evade the officers pursuing them. The vehicle then narrowly misses the gas pumps at the petrol station and then begins to take off once more, going in the opposite direction of which they came. The vehicle narrowly misses the SMVU Mustang, attempting to potentially take it out not once, but twice. The vehicle collides head-on with a civilian vehicle, but somehow manages to continue. The vehicle, still travelling at speeds in excess of 150, attempts to lose the officers by ditching into a bush, thinking that the officers did not see them. The vehicle, noticeably damaged, has somehow burst its tyre during this encounter. It now has reduced control and begins again to accelerate to speeds in excess of 100 miles an hour in the opposite direction of traffic. The vehicle is now visibly heavily damaged, smoking as it proceeds. And then, finally, the vehicle comes into contact with the Mustang twice, almost sending the Mustang into the wall, before finally smashing into the reservation at over 70 miles an hour, killing both occupants instantly. The officer instantly on scene moves in, but unfortunately discovers that both occupants inside the vehicle are deceased. A short clip here. A black and orange Mazda RX-7 Veilside was spotted driving recklessly outside of Sandy. The ensuing pursuit led them all the way into the city and down onto Interstate 1, when suddenly, tragedy struck. The vehicle hit a civilian vehicle and smashed into the reservation, flinging itself into the air and rolling on its roof multiple times. Again, the person inside this vehicle, much like the previous pursuit, was pronounced dead on scene by the medics that arrived. Taking another look at the accident, you can clearly see how the vehicle, rattled by the collision that it faced with the civilian vehicle, smashed into the metal reservation, flinging it into the air as if it were a plane catching flight, and then rolling over multiple times before settling to its final position. Finally, we show you the intricate workings of a bust directly linked to 2 homicides within the city. Now, although we cannot show you much footage from this, as a lot of it is currently being used in an ongoing investigation, we can show you some of the footage from the body cam of the officer on scene. Here you can see multiple people being chased, and they're fleeing the scene as they realise that the police has cottoned onto them, but unfortunately they don't realise that there is already a cruiser waiting around the back to pick them up. One man is instantly tased and surrenders almost immediately, whereas another man leads all officers onto a foot pursuit. Eventually the officer managed to get around the corner, and he fired his taser directly into the suspect. In total there were 3 convictions, various offences such as murder, attempted murder, and possession and distribution of illegal firearms. PD can rest assured that one less group of people committing crime on the streets of LS have been detained. Finally, we join a high-speed pursuit which involves a vehicle very similar to the first one. Now this vehicle had been involved in yet again another felony high-speed pursuit, and whilst attempting to avoid officers, navigated down a dirt track. Unbeknownst to the Nissan Skyline, the dirt track actually ended in a dead end onto a pier. But watch closely as the criminal decides how exactly they're going to end the chase. People will stop at nothing to avoid doing the time for their crimes. As you can see, the Mustang now is unable to pursue the Skyline further, but the Skyline continues down the pier. The rest needs no comment. As you can see, the Skyline, after a moment's hesitation, decided to launch itself off of the pier and into the water below. The suspect was never recovered and never found. The vehicle was recovered and sent back to the county tow for evidence and processing. The suspects still remain at large. Thank you very much for tuning in for this episode of Redline Live PD, and we hope to see you again soon.